What is going on, everyone? What's going on?
Good evening, Internet. We're back.
We're back
We
again.
survived.
You
We
failed again.
survived. You have us again, Internet.
And,
Another
and we're going to
Another
do the
week of
same
Nerd
thing
Vision.
we did last week. But
That's
we're going to do it.
it. And we're going to do it this week. Here we go.
We're trying to get off topic
even better, hopefully.
and start
It'll
talking
be
about
even better. It'll be a week better.
A week
It definitely will be. And we're still free. So
And
That's a
we
big-
are
that's a big
free.
thing.
I mean, you
We
are
still
not
are
getting
free.
billed for this. There's no subscription.
no charge,
You're not paying for this.
There's
You don't have to
no,
worry about auto pay or anything. This is
no broadcast television fee,
no
no rent,
broad-
no
no
regional
local
sports fee.
sports fee.
Free. No, we're
Not
here.
yet.
Oh, wow. True. That is a very big true. So
I mean, it makes me feel so good and just healthy in the mind to be able to say that to the entire world, right? That we are free. We will never ask you for a penny.
We want.
well, for sure.
The mouse
YouTube
might,
doesn't-
but
YouTube
we
doesn't,
want.
Mouse, yeah, you got to pay the mouse because that fucker needs a new tuxedo. But we don't. We won't ever ask. I mean, look at us. We don't need anything.
as they gradually get to the public domain, it does need new revenue streams, such as Star Wars or
Correct.
Star War.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Which, hey, how about some action, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty sick.
Right. But yeah, welcome to Carbonite Bound and BS with me and the nerds here, guys. Glad everybody's with us this week. And it's definitely a fun time to be a fan, right? It seems every time around this part of the year we get some kind of juicy, fun, delicious content leading us into Star Wars Day. So yeah, it's a good time to be a nerd, good time to be a Star Wars fan. So we'll be going over our Maul Shadow Lord season 1 episodes 3 and 4 review today. But before we even get started, let's let our guy DP let you guys know where to find us at.
Nerdcyclopedia.com, people. Make sure that you go into your favorite link where you will see all your social media platform ads. We're on X, formerly known as Twitter, on Facebook, Instagram, and also on TikTok. So anywhere that we're on social media, we are at Nerdcyclopedia. And like I said, you can find all that out at nerdcyclopedia.com. If you're listening to us on podcasts, make sure that you go into iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Odyssey, anywhere that you listen to your favorite podcast. Guess what? We're there. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you. Make sure you smash that subscribe button and also hit that notification button. So anytime that we're on, you know that we're on. If you're watching us on Facebook, thank you as well. Make sure that you're hitting that share button and sharing our feed with all your friends. So we definitely appreciate that. If you want to leave some emails with us, go to Nerdcyclopedia feedback at gmail.com. It's still free to send us an email. Appreciate you.
You can't blockade our email inbox, so it is free.
Fill that inbox with all your comments and criticism, and we will answer every single one of them for no charge.
For no charge. We're doing it for free.
For sure. But yeah, guys, I mean, kind of leading into these 2 episodes, man. Wow, what great content. We talk about this kind of being like this is Filoni's kind of bag, so to speak. So like, the beginning of the show I was already happy with it, and then just watching these last 2 episodes, I mean, like, man, this is like peak Star Wars. I mean, I'm kind of at the point now to where like I'm just kind of like Filoni, like keep yourself here. Also, we do the live action stuff, because it's just to me, like I don't know, I haven't seen too many. I mean, me and Hitch talk about maybe when you hit the Asian genres, the anime, the Dragon Ball Z's. Outside of that, I can tell you, I've really never seen something like from an American studio outside of Batman. I'd say the animated series and X-Men. It's been like kind of like clean, and that's just Filoni projects. I wouldn't say all Star Wars animation, but Filoni projects. I mean, he just does a real good job, and with a small budget, I would say, because these episodes aren't long. There's not a lot, put into them. So yeah, I'm really excited to see where the show goes.
Yeah, it's really great for Star Wars. I mean, Filoni, he's doing his thing. He's in his bag. You could the thing about Filoni, he knows what he wants, and he knows how to dedicate himself to like Star Wars itself. Outside of projects like Andor or whatever, where they're sort of free to go about what they the way they want to tell a story. Filoni sort of keeps it is his style to sort of like in tribute of like George Lucas. Yeah, it's sort of like he positions his stories. This is the way George might have wanted it. Whereas if you look at some Andor, they're not thinking about George. They're just thinking about, okay, I'm trying to sell. Gilroy's just trying to tell his own thing within like a universe and stuff. So it's different ways of telling these stories. And I got to say, these last couple episodes, they were dark. They were action packed. They got more into, Maul's, character and everything. And, I just love like the whole, this happening right after Order 66 is real cool because it really puts really brings you back into that world of how scared the Jedi was and everything that culminated into what we seen like in the final couple scenes and stuff in the fourth episode. It was good. I like it.
So three things that I'm starting to see now after four of these episodes. One, Darth Maul is like a magician of some sort, and he's savvy in things which we didn't get. I mean, I saw him in Phantom Menace, and I didn't think of him as being all that tactful. I saw him as being a fist, and that's what Sidious was using as. He wasn't, he wasn't part of his strategy. He just wanted him to go in, scare people, and smash and destroy. Now we're seeing Maul as he's there with T going through some sort of ceremony. What the hell is he doing? What did he do? It's like Mr. Miyagi all of a sudden came in, grew horns, and is like trying to corrupt, Devin into some weird tea ceremony. But I'm not sure what was going on there. So I dig Maul as being more than just a demon Sith Lord. There's more to him. He's multifaceted. So that's one. Two, Lawson. I said it last week, and you say it again. That guy, there's more to him than we've seen. Now we know his wife was part of the Empire, his former wife. Okay, and they keep saying we're going to bring the Empire in. He's like, no, we're going to bring the Empire in. We can't handle this. He's like, no, I can handle it. Yeah, my former wife was part of the Empire. I know what kind of shit they're going to do. They're going to come in and they're going to stay here. Never going to get rid of them. They keep saying that. That's great. Great storytelling. I want them to keep us in the dark for at least 2 more episodes. I don't even want to see the Empire. But 3,
Unfortunately,
I want to see the Empire. I want to see the because we know this is after Order 66, like you said, DP. Say, but what condition is the Empire in? Who are the leaders? Who's in charge? Like, we really don't know, right? I mean, this is kind of that way in between, like in between Revenge of the Sith and Rogue One. Like, who's really in charge? Who's pulling the strings? What's the Empire actually look like? So I'm looking forward to that. This is a great story. I think I'm gonna have to watch this whole thing as a one shot at the end. Because these little pieces of the same thing that I said about Bad Batch. I mean, that needed to be watched in a whole string. But these were great episodes because they gave us enough, but didn't tell us everything. Like I said, there's still these. Keep saying we're going to bring the Empire in. We're going to do it. We're going to do it, and they didn't do it yet. So gets a thumbs up for me.
I like this. It's fun so far. All the backgrounds look like Ralph McQuarrie drawings, but they're pretty static. So this does give you the feeling that it was filmed in the volume, which is weird because it's a cartoon. But it does kind of give you that claustrophobic feeling. I think that this detective basically hating the Empire for no reason other than his ex-wife works there is hilarious. It's one of the funniest. Giving this guy divorced dad energy is
Wait,
such a hilarious choice to be
former wife, not ex-wife. So she could be dead. We don't know.
made. She's doing great service over there. Palpy's cat.
Something.
But that's hilarious. It's like he's not even like it's like all the oppression, the Jedi killing. I'm not a fan, but you know,
But why not?
and I know what they do. What do you mean? The Empire's going to come in here and solve these crimes and sleep with everybody? It'll be terrible, terrible, terrible. Like I don't know, the Empire's going to do all that, Ron. I appreciated that a lot. Like give him a real deep-seated reason. Like you'll know he'll never flip. Like you can really be sure that guy's going to hate the Empire. He's a great guy. Luthen should find him, right?
Yeah.
I also really like the idea, and it's something that's a holdover kind of from Andor, right? Which is like we need a reliable criminal to create a problem big enough to call the Empire in. And it seems like this is the big Palpatine's big con, right? Like you send Darth Maul in, he kills all the criminals that are doing like drug smuggling and stuff, comes back in and says, hey, you should be way more afraid of me than you are of them because I killed them all. So now I want you to run the drugs for me. And then Palpatine can come in and just smash everything at the end of the day. And he can still run the drug trade, but he doesn't have to be openly in control. And I think it really leads you to the genius that is Darth Sidious. I mean, this plan as it falls into place is excellent.
So do you feel like Palpatine and Maul are going to come in and still have a relationship?
No, but I think that Maul is like essentially Palpatine's puppet, right? To use a turn of phrase, right? Like Maul is incapable of acting against Palpatine because that's why he's not dead cutting at the bottom.
He seems pretty angry. He seems pretty angry at Sidious about about the way he did him. He did him wrong. Yeah, I don't think he's just going to let him go on that. I think I think his whole goal through this story is to get back at Sidious in a big way.
Maybe he thinks that.
Yeah. Filoni will do it. Filoni will do it. He'll. I mean,
we pretty much know how it turns out. I mean,
well,
it's in the desert, like everything. Yeah. In the middle of a desert, two old men.
Like he said, he may think he can do it, and if we didn't already know the story, we would really be hyped on. Okay, well, his whole motivation is to get back at Sidious. I mean, it makes sense because that's his anger, his all the decisions that he's making and everything. Yeah, absolutely.
And he could destroy Sidious because we know there are clones that Palpatine can bring in to replace himself. So it's not out of the question of the story that Maul kills Sidious.
Yeah, but I think the problem is Maul knows he necessarily can't get to him. He already alludes that there are these now Jedi killers, which we know that are Inquisitors. So essentially, he has to create his own. I won't say Sith because I guess he's not a Sith anymore, but I guess dark side user, so to speak. He's trying to create his own, which is why he's obviously trying to seduce Devin to help him and understand about trying to teach him basically that the I think the story, the whole backstory to the it was like the prologue kind of story he told about the beginning about the Jedi was really interesting. Kind of as we watch these Filoni stories, and I understand that he was a student of George's, but it makes me appreciate kind of his side of the storytelling because when he goes into basically, he paints the picture we've all talked about, as in like the Jedi were so corrupted by the Republic being basically their military that like the eye off of what their job was to do. And Maul's right about that. They're supposed to be defenders of peace, but they somehow became shrouded and became a military force. They lost their way, and so Maul's right in that aspect. So I understood that, and it kind of brings it home in the series as far as the character. But it just makes me question, all the movies we've seen. Was Master Yoda really truly a great grandmaster at this point? It makes a lot of fun questions, a lot of fun debates, right? Because obviously the buck stops with him, right? We talk about how Kathleen Kennedy was, the fall for, the last couple years of trepidation we had with Star Wars. So it's only right that we put the buck on Yoda, right? I mean, obviously that's why he goes into isolation, his sorrow.
Yeah, I was about to say, isn't that sort of like a get? Once you see the prequels and see where see where he ends up and everything, it's sort of like a given. He ends up where he is.
Really brings the story home. So I can really appreciate from the storytelling aspect. And I mean, the thing was, he kind of did that, how I said, the prologue of the story within I think it was 2 minutes, right? I mean, we watched the movie, we watched the series that they ran through the woods for 3 episodes. I mean, for him to give a prologue of the whole kind of fall of the Jedi in 2 minutes and then get back to the story where we are, I just think that was brilliant, and it's something I really enjoyed.
But don't forget, Yoda also is still probably in charge of the Jedi Order during that 200 years before time frame, because he was he was in charge of the Jedi for 900 years.
Yeah, he was.
So we would call that a historical epoch. That's the entire distance of the Roman Empire. From the founding of Rome to its sack in 450 is about that long. So that's a long time for there to be a decline. And it almost makes you wonder if it's is Yoda's ascension the point where the Jedi Order starts to decline? It is the story of that, the story of the real, the real story of the Jedi decline is the story of Yoda's,
yeah.
He's the Pope, right? I don't know if he has the authority the Pope has, but he's pretty much, the Jedi Pope, right?
Basically,
his job, right?
And he even had doubts about where things were going too. I mean, he in the end of the story. So we jump ahead to the episode 10, and it's he really felt the whole thing was a sham. It was built on old legends that didn't hold water anymore because they never adapted to where society was going. And that was why the Jedi failed, because the old ways didn't work anymore. And he talks about, they all talk about it. They all talk about how the old ways, the old religion, this and that, never can't work today because it's a new society. It's a new way of thinking. And I think that also led to why the Jedi failed. The people just weren't believing it anymore. They weren't buying it.
Tinkerbell from the Peter Pan play, right? Without that clapping, the Jedi.
Yeah, once you start poking holes in different things, and people start seeing the holes, you can't close them holes. You can try, but the holes are there, and people can see. They can see through the fabric now.
And it didn't take much to change the way society felt about the Jedi. All of a sudden, nobody wanted to be pushed around by them anymore. That wasn't. And
now think about it. At this time frame, you're right. They're now viewed as the enemy. They're the traitors.
Right.
So here comes the Empire, right? Here comes these guys with red lightsabers. They look like, as of now, the heroes, right?
Right, because they got rid of all the Jedi, which we don't like anymore because they're just pushing people around. And here comes the Empire with all the answers and everything. They come in, they stay forever. They come in, they make everything better. They get rid of the gangs, they get rid of the drugs, they clean the streets up.
The ultimate gaslighters.
Sure. Society needs that every now and again. That's the way the world. Things aren't working. You come in, you give everybody a different way of thinking, another answer, something else to look toward.
Yeah, but
and they'll
still do the same thing, but in a different way.
Yeah, it's the same. Exactly. It's the same thing. You're saying the same thing, but you're saying it you're twisting it a little bit to make it.
Yeah, you're accusing the other, accusing the Jedi of doing the same things where you are what you're about to actually do.
Sure.
Ultimate gaslighters.
Projection. Where do we don't see that anymore. So that's.
Oh yeah, that doesn't happen. Yeah. Oh
no.
Yeah. George didn't look at like regular society and say, "Wow, this would be a great story." Man, I should make a space opera, but just all the problems in society, put them in space, and then no one will like object to it because it's in space.
It's in space. Yeah. That could never happen because it's in space.
It's in space. It's science fiction. And nothing
like that. Nothing like that at all.
We're
But
not
yeah,
even
this
there. No underwear.
No. Hey, this episode. I mean, these episodes really had. Darth Maul is so cool, man. He's just a badass.
He's legit and he's calm.
Oh yeah, calm.
Speaks well.
Speaks it's perfect English.
That's the Shakespearean side of him. Yeah, he's.
Oh yeah.
Shakespeare. He's like he's literally a lord. He's the lord of the dance, and what the music sounds like we don't know yet, but he conjures and he captures and he's charismatic. You saw how fast all those pike that were left that he didn't decimate. They were down on one knee. They bent the knee.
Automatically. Yep.
Lord Maul immedially. You just saw your
he said you're in charge, but you got to report to me.
Right. And they're like, yes, Lord Maul. 100%.
I don't want to be sinister or nothing, but I know the Rian Johnson stuff's been coming up lately. I guess Daisy Ridley did an interview and basically admitted that Rian Johnson's episode 8 fucked up the whole trilogy. But I don't know if you saw the Easter egg or not, but how fitting was it that the way the Pike was killed was like the way the was killed? Did you see that Easter egg? It literally lit up, split him in half, and he pulled it back just like the movie. And I was like, I don't know if he was like taking a shot at him or what, but it was kind of ironic that scene happened the same exact way that Snoke died.
It was a great kill. It was a force kill. I mean,
yeah, it was something I caught immediately with the way it ignited and the way he like pulled it back to him. I was like, I don't know if that was like a shot at him or.
I think it's definitely theatrical because, like, obviously Maul didn't have to do any of that stuff, the trickeration and the misdirection and showing up and cutting a bunch of. Like, he could have just walked right through those people. So he's theatrical. He wants to make an impression, and he looks like the devil. And his whole thing that he's mad about is that he was not allowed to be the villain of the prequel trilogy. Like, that's his whole thing. Like, they set me aside.
He's still angry about that. He's still angry about that.
It just he traded me in. He's talking about George Lucas. He traded me in for some old man.
It's like he was in he was with the Pirates, and we were almost at 1,000, and all of a sudden, now he's with the Orioles. Like, come on, man.
He said, I look so much cooler. I got horns and stuff. My face is red. I got a double lightsaber. You chose like a cloak guy with a
robot.
Just a robot with a Nintendo chest.
Right, Nintendo Switch on his chest, and he's like breathing all back. He's breathing all heavy.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
He can't flip. He can't flip like me.
Yeah, he can't jump. He's super stiff, which is weird. Yeah, he tried to jump. That's what happened to him. He literally can't jump.
Right. That was the first.
He got sciatica.
Yeah, that was the first high ground. Never. If someone's got the high ground, don't be jumping at him.
Think about it. He has what? No hands. He has no legs.
Right.
All he has is memories.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Maul has a right to be pissed.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, think about it. He's pissed because also, he fell on the shaft and Sidious didn't pick him up. Anakin was burnt to crisp, and he picked him up. He's pissed about that.
I say chosen one, but it's really golden child.
It is. Exactly.
Now, does
he's crispy? He's pissed because he can't be the villain of the sequel trilogy. That is just crazy.
So he knows about that. We're guessing, right?
Well, no, remember that was in the Clone Wars, the last couple episodes, and he tried to get Ahsoka to help him because they saw this is when Anakin was turning, remember? And like everybody sensed it through the Force. You gotta watch. I'll bring him up. You gotta watch those last couple episodes when she arrested him before he escaped. He tried to
Okay,
seduce
so
her to
you're
like
you're
tell
saying
him.
he knew what was going on between Sidious and Annie.
Yeah, yeah, he knows. He knows he's on his way. But the thing is I don't think he knows how powerful he is. He knows of Anakin as Anakin like in human form. He doesn't
Right.
know when he sees this robot who the hell it's
Robot
going to
form.
be.
Oh
Right.
yeah,
He has
that's
no
right.
clue who that is.
So now he's being introduced like he's like, you set me aside for this old man from like Dooku. You just wanted to be like you just
Right.
liked him because he was the president of that other crap. And then it's like he's just gonna be confronted with Darth Vader and be like, no, that's way cooler than even me. So I guess I just have to give it up because I'm not gonna be the villain of the regular trilogy. I mean, he would say it like that. He would know like that's the actual real media.
Yeah.
Next thing. It's like I'm a
I
side.
mean, his real beef should be with George, you know. So
Imagine that conversation, Maul and George Lucas, sharing a case of beer, and Maul's like, had a couple more than George has had, and then he really opens up, really lays into him about how he did him wrong in a menace.
They should have cast Patrick Stewart as Maul.
Patrick Stewart as Maul.
That's what I want to hear as Patrick Stewart with the Dark Maul.
Patrick Stewart from A Christmas Carol, like as Scrooge, could be Maul. Like that would be the Patrick Stewart I'd need to see in the makeup with the dark cloak and the double-edged lightsaber. I'd have to see Scrooge Patrick Stewart as Darth Maul. That would be great, excellent.
That's as much Star Trek as I need in my life. That's all, no more than that.
I can't get past him in Professor X, so I don't think it would work for me. I just see him in the wheelchair now.
Well, yeah, but he'd look like the damn because he had all the horns.
Right, yes.
That's why I used the Scrooge. I mean, you guys have seen A Christmas Carol with Patrick Stewart Scrooge. I mean, he's probably the best Scrooge there was. He's evil. He's a jerk. I mean, he's everything Maul could use. Plus, he's got the whole Shakespeare thing going for him. So,
which they cast Ray Park, right, to play Darth Maul, Toad in X-Men, and he, like, I don't know. It feels like the Shakespearean thing does feel like a reinvention, but I'm okay with it because you need a bad guy. Palpatine does kind of clear the table all the way off. It just has that effect.
I went back and watched the when Maul took over Mandalore. That was some really good. Those are some really good episodes right there. Back in season 5 of the Clone Wars and stuff.
Yeah.
He was like chopping heads off. I mean, whew.
And he mentions that battle on Mandalore. He mentions that in actually this first episode 3. He mentions that whole thing to Devin.
Because I forgot he did all that. I mean, I think we talked about it last week. About the reasons why the Mandalorian are there. Because he took all that over from what Pre Vizsla, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are some good episodes. The animation was looks like it was. It shows also how far along the animation came and the detail that it is now compared to what it was back then. So still the same type of base structure, but just a lot more definition now. And I love just the fact that just these episodes, how dark how dark they are, and how just detailed, and they really have fun with the Maul character and stuff. I hope we get like more than just one season of this. Actually,
yeah, I think it's greenlit. Usually if they say season 1, I think it's usually greenlit pretty much for another season. I mean, the way they lay it.
Bring it on.
Yeah. How about Devin's Master? I've watched episode 3 times. I still don't know where he comes him in at. So like the fact that he's dying, obviously now he's gone, almost out of here. I was looking at that, like, dude, you fell off the damn scaffolding on your back, and then you hold your abdomen. Like, did you like, I don't know, have appendicitis or something during the fight because you weren't impaled?
If you get into a fight with someone, you know, knife fight, gun, whatever type of fight, and they kick you in the chest 3 times really hard, you're losing that fight, right? Like that's not a fight you're winning. I just felt like every time he jumped in, like Maul just kicked him in the chest.
Right?
Like just disrespectful. Just get out of here. Like I'm not trying to turn you. You stink. I'm trying to get this. Yeah, definitely. That's what I came for. And I like he's terrible. So I guess it's one of those things where I guess if my master was getting beat up all the time, I would think maybe about changing over to the red lightsaber at a certain point.
Who the hell turned Two Boots back on? He was supposed to be off. How did he get turned back on?
Darkspot 9000 there calls your ex-wife to tell you, Ron needs some help. You better get down here. He can't handle it.
Oh my god!
That's exactly what he's saying. He's like, this has gotten out of hand.
You know who that was? We know it was it had to be the colonel or whatever, the lieutenant.
Yeah, somebody.
She was already like ready to call him anyway. Like she was calling him for sure.
Yeah, and she didn't like the way things were going, the plan. She didn't like any of that. So,
but she needed Two Boots to do that.
She's been put to the side. Like Boston's been like, no, I'm in charge here, and she
probably didn't want to put her face in front of the camera to like ask for help or whatever.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah. Just send the robot, just send the droid to do it.
Right?
Oh, he was getting on my nerves, but I mean, they foreshadowed that from the first episode. Oh yeah, the Empire is coming. The Empire is coming. And Two Boots was gonna be the one to call him. He couldn't wait. He could not wait. I better call him. We better call him. We better call him.
Well, think about it. That half the police forces got taken out in that sting. They didn't even get them. Like,
so they're all droids. Like this show's hilarious because they have the one scene where a bunch of the Pikes who are living beings do get like narked, like get murked, and they're dead. And then they show like these droids getting shot up, and they're carrying the droids out and stretching.
That was pretty funny to me. Yeah.
The Pikes are alien. They're alien.
But the droids, and it's basically like we crashed a bunch. It's like that scene from Blues Brothers in the mall and stuff. The police chase. That's basically what the moral equivalent is of shooting a bunch of droids. I think, for the most part, right? It's just wrecking a bunch of cars. So I'm not going to feel bad about that. But they're taking them out on stretchers. So I think that is a hilarious juxtaposition because shouldn't it be the other way around? And it really isn't. So what's going on?
Yeah, but the Pikes are criminals. So who cares? Right?
So okay. So I get it. There is a human being, Ken, to you, but the value and dignity of their life is such that if you had to choose between throwing the trolley switch and the trolley hits that terrible lowly person or a really nice car, that you would hit
I would definitely try and find a garage to fix the car before I worried about the humanoid criminal. Yes, you are correct. So, I'm more about fixing the technology than the
save the world.
I don't want to save the world because we're talking about criminals. They're making
bad people
hard for everybody else. So if a few of them get wasted, no, I don't care. But a car.
How do we know all the Pikes are bad though? We don't.
Yeah, great point.
We're pretty sure what we've seen, the cross section of Pike world is bad. I'm almost like 99%.
Nothing wrong with that. I'll just drive this truck around.
Okay, so like think of any sort of malevolent criminal society. Klingons. Are there any good Klingons?
Worf.
So that begs the question though. So if a child's born, he's automatically a bad person?
Ooh.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So that would mean Ray Palpatine should never be a Jedi then.
Sure.
Of course, Hitler should not be running anything.
Right. That would debunk the whole sequel trilogy.
Yeah,
Because
that
Ray
would
Palpatine,
fix things, wouldn't it?
Ray
In
Palpatine
certain sections of Los Angeles, if you're born in a Crip neighborhood, you're automatically a Crip when
Okay,
when
so
you get
that
older.
happens,
but that
and
doesn't mean you're a
everybody
bad
accepts
person,
that,
right?
right?
It doesn't mean that you're a bad person, but you were born in a wrong neighborhood, though. You
born
know,
into a
you're
criminal
automatically wearing those.
You
But
got
okay, so should that person born, that's not necessarily bad or good or everything, should they be considered a criminal or bad person or
if
whatever,
they were
or
written if they were written into a a fiction story, sure. I'm not talking about reality here. I'm just talking about this
No, we get
universe
you.
the
where
sci-fi. Remember, Ken, it's in space, so
it's
I
in
I
space.
understand. I
It's in
understand.
space. You
I
can do whatever you
understand.
want. You can
I
murder
understand.
people. It's all.
I understand.
But we have to make
If
sure
it's
where the
in
lines
space, yeah.
are.
Darth Kenobi.
Anyway, I do think, Ken, that you're absolutely right that you have pegged the ethos of the series, right? These are criminals, they are worthless. It is good that they're dead. We're not like we're supposed to be seeing Darth Maul as like an anti-hero, kind of like Heisenberg.
Basically, yeah.
Right, he's not the savior. He's not the Messiah, unless you say, well, he's the Dark Messiah.
If the rest of this story is about him, making a deal with the Empire and being the sheriff of this place, I'm gonna be really mad. I don't want to see that.
Oh yeah,
So you don't
that's
want
not
to
what
see
we want to
Boba Fett
see.
again?
No,
You don't want to see Boba Fett?
No, 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 I don't. I want to see him be evil and do evil stuff. And if at the end of it, the Emperor shows up and he's like, "Time to go, time to come with me, my son," and like just like cuts him down or whatever, I think it would be cool. But show me more of this. He's evil. He's showing up. Yeah, like I said, he didn't need to have his brother or cousin or whatever swing the lightsaber around. He could have just walked in there and been like, "Hey, you messed up. I'm here."
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
He didn't need the ruse. He didn't need the Trojan horse surprise attack. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he's only doing that. He's only doing that for funsies and for his crew. He's like, watch this. You know what I mean? Like that's what he's doing. He's saying it to his friends.
If his whole motivation is to get back at Palpatine or get to Palpatine, I don't know how effective it is for him to try to turn these or groom these former Jedi or what have you. He's doing it. He's got to literally hunt them down, right? And try to find them in order for that to happen.
What,
If
the
he just
Jedi?
happens upon them, yeah, I mean, if he just happens upon them on the street and everything, okay, I could use you and everything. That's
So
one thing.
you're right, but it's kind of weird because his abilities are they're unique because he has light side abilities, but he's a dark side user, right? So like his telepathy with learning Devin's name without him or her speaking the name, and the fact that like you said, he sensed their power level almost like a Dragon Ball Z type trait that you don't typically see a lot of Jedi. And then again, remember, they're all scared, right? So like Obi-Wan kind of depowered themselves, Yoda, they were hiding, they learned how to their ability. At this point, I guess that I don't know, he has the ability to sense force sensitive people somehow. So yeah, you're right. It's weird that I don't know, he has unique abilities that and I'm guessing with him not being a Sith too long, where would he learn these things, right? I mean, it's unique. Yeah, him as a character is unique because he wasn't trained to be a full apprentice. He wasn't. I mean, he was given the name Darth, but I don't think he was necessarily under Palpatine's wing. And for one thing, we learned about Palpatine is he doesn't necessarily train his Padawans or his apprentices much because he doesn't. Obviously, the rule of two is they don't want their apprentice to hack them down, which is like a known thing in the Sith. So, and it's one of those things. Yeah, they kind of are self-governed.
He more finds someone with some innate talent for evil, like to do bad. He like some sort of agenda, and he just says, "Okay, go do your thing over here, do whatever." But there's no teaching. There's no like
No.
Yoda Skywalker teaching of any sort. He just kind of
yeah. I mean, he sounds smart. You know, I don't know how effective his plans are. But it sounds good. I mean, he may make. Anyway,
Imagine,
but
imagine at some point someone was like, "I'm going to teach you geometry," and at the end of the semester, not only did you not know any geometry, like your wife, and everything.
You tell the difference between a triangle and a circle. You mean?
Yeah, you couldn't tell the difference between a triangle and a circle, and you were guilty of at least 30 counts of child murder that we're aware of. You would say that's a bad deal. Like, I did not get what I signed up for, which was instruction in geometry. I didn't even get that. I got all this other stuff I didn't ask for.
But isn't that life? Isn't that life? Steele says that is life. That you think you're going to get one thing and you get something else. It's like you go to McDonald's, you go through the drive-through, and you ordered that arch big meal, and when you get home, you don't have it. You got a fish sandwich in there.
And someone electric.
And whose fault was it? And whose fault was that you didn't look into the bag before you left McDonald's?
And are we supposed to be looking in the bag? I mean, can't we trust that a fast food restaurant is going to
you're supposed to, you're supposed to.
Is that what the dark side does? It clouds the judgment of the person that's receiving the dark side education, is what it is.
We know at a minimum that the dark side encourages your dad to whoop your ass. You know what I mean? Like at the minimum, it does that. And who needs that? I don't think anyone needs that.
Hey, if you deserve an ass whooping, then yes, because there's a lot of people out there that deserve that. Like for real.
I'd be pissed if I got home and that big arch wasn't in a bag, man. I'll be headed right back.
And
I guess it really depends on the McDonald's I would cook.
Then you get to the McDonald's, and in order to get the big arch, you got to beat your dad up. In front of the McDonald's.
What neighborhood is that McDonald's in? Is it in a crib?
The McDonald's manager's just like.
So McDonald's we could use this. McDonald's is the empire, and
they are. Yeah,
they are subjugating us and making us believe we're getting what we're asking for, but we're not. And every single time someone leaves a drive-through, something is wrong, and that sends that person out with just a little bit of anger in them, and that's all it takes.
No matter how bad they tell you McDonald's is, you still spill money to get it. A big arch, probably not that good for you.
But that's okay, because we're going to fight for it. And then even though we didn't get it, we're going to go back tomorrow and ask for it again. Please, sir, can I have another? And that's the
empire
we're dealing with.
Yeah. Punishment by Palpatine. We just continually ask for it. Yeah. Palpatine got us by the balls, man.
He gives out unhappy meals, though. He doesn't like.
Yeah. Unhappy meals. Maul is definitely not happy with his meal, boy.
Not a bit.
Of everything. I'm tired.
Not the one he
toy. No.
And the McFlurry machine is not working again.
You traded me in for fries.
So who do we think that's in the Empire ship? I mean, who do you think that that's going to come down from it? So
that's what I'm saying. That's what I can't wait for. I want to see where who's.
I think it'll just be like an Imperial. They've kind of already. Disney's been doing this dumb shit now of on their social media accounts leaking shit. So if you've seen the footage, it's like an Imperial, and this is what they're talking about, the Inquisitors. There's a fight with the Inquisitors. So the dumbasses have already leaked out kind of season stuff, like they've done with Daredevil. They do these trailers that give you splotches of the whole season, but there's no need for it. So that's why he's talking about he needs Devin, because they're Inquisitors. Inquisitors are coming. That's why he needs Devin, which Devin's so excited.
Right? Should be all right, well, we sent a Star Destroyer. Star Destroyer blew up.
Yeah.
All right.
So
There's all the Inquisitors.
So yeah, the first battle will be with Inquisitors. I don't think this season we will see. We might see Sidious at the end, but I don't think the fight with Darth Vader will happen to the second season. And I think he'll like be badly bruised and tore up, and that's what'll lead into his exile and then finding him in like Rebels and stuff when he's like has like those like spider legs or whatever. I think he really gets his ass whooped at the end of this by Vader and the Emperor. Like that'll be like the last battle.
It's like a
But yeah,
Sounds like a 3-season arc.
it is because this is a Devin. I don't know if him or her turns, but I know he fights alongside Maul against Inquisitors. Because, like I said, if you go on the Star Wars, like on the Disney social media stuff, there's already like scenes of them like fighting. It's like stupid that they like lay this shit out now.
I mean, I don't need to be.
Well, I'm sure glad we know about it now.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't see it. It's like all over the internet. Like it's not even like you don't have to dig for it. It's literally and Disney's like good at hiding this stuff. It's like on their page. Like crazy.
But guessing the name thing was kind of weak. That's like what mentalists do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you go to a show and someone would be like, "Oh, your dad's name was you know, your dad's name was Raymond." Like, whoa, how did you know that? You know what I mean? Like they do that here. The fact that Maul did that after his tea ceremony, like, Ken, you got it. Like the tea thing was weird, and he looks all nuts, like he's got tattoos all over his body. He's like, "Do I look like some sort of murderer?" And it's like, yes,
Yes, you do. And you like tea, so I'm out of here. That's pretty scary.
Most sinister tea I've seen in some time. Sinister tea.
And what's weird is the whole thing had three. He had three glasses. So one's for him, one's for Devin. Who's the third guest at the tea party?
I kept thinking
You're not going to do a tea ceremony with cups that aren't for people that you're. I mean, I didn't get it.
I thought he was going to set it down and be like, one of these is poison.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Pretty fine, delicious tea.
I just thought it was funny how he like detached his lightsaber and he like takes it back and puts his shit back together. He's like, "Here, take this," and we're gonna train for a little bit. He finds out how like weak Devin is, and he's like, "All right, give me my shit back for you, leave." By the way, like that was a training, so give me back.
Right? Yeah, forget it. You're. There's no hope for you. You're out.
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, just get the hell out of here."
Go right. He
I don't
lets
want
her
people
go.
to think you took that off me.
Right.
That's the one to take the credibility.
He's like, give me that half a lightsaber. I'm gonna need that, and he lets her go.
Yeah. So I don't know. They're saying that there's a small opportunity that Devin becomes Darth Talon because obviously there was that Darth that had the same, but then I don't know. Devin would have to be completely transformed and turn to red, like Darth Maul. I don't know if they would do that, but I don't know.
No, I think she'll stay where she is. I don't.
I know she's angry. She's not happy. She's not a happy Jedi.
No, she's not. She's like Ahsoka angry.
Right.
You know, I don't think she'll go to the. I don't think she'll fall in with Maul. That would be surprising if she did.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those, like you were saying, just like association type things, common cause. They both hate the Empire, and we'll set our differences aside. It's like kind of like that Jedi visions. Like at the end of this, we're going to fight each other, right? Even though he knows he can kill. Like she'll try to like, oh yeah, at the end I'm gonna whoop your ass, and like he's like, no, you're not. But okay, well, at the end we'll have another sparring session to see how far you've came.
Yeah. Oh, that would be cool.
I need more death. I need more death.
Even more?
Oh yeah. Well, these fight scenes have been good, but like I hope these Inquisitors come because I think these animated, kind of short lightsaber battles have been good. To actually see a real battle.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of death, but it's been sort of like I don't know, throwing peas at a tank. I mean, it's not much of a battle. We know the tank's going to run the peas over. The Darth Maul's the tank, and everybody else is a pea. There wasn't anything to taking out the police, and the Pikes were just really easy to do.
What do you mean? Devin's master was like the shittiest. Like that had to be the shittiest Jedi master. Like for Devin to have to keep saving his ass, like bro, he got kicked and
Yeah,
almost slashed like 4
in
times. Like
the chest,
bro,
in the chest, like
yeah,
here.
Yeah.
like these are like OP defenses. He should have like been able to like swerve out of the way. Like dude's getting his ass whooped not by the lightsaber, by foot act. Like
I
literally being
mean, we
Yeah,
we,
get
we,
punched.
we definitely have not seen him do anything cool
well, he's out of here
besides,
now.
like,
Obviously,
lift a bridge.
he got kicked in his chest so hard that his abdomen broke, and now he has like a hole and is bleeding out now. Like,
His ad.
Man, at least
really,
he class. He's like, we got to get out of here now. Did you see that guy? That looked like Darth Maul. He's like probably like ranked number 5 in the world. We're not on the list. We gotta go. He's gonna clean us up and take us home like afterward. You know what I mean? Put us to bed. Like we gotta get off this planet.
He's gonna take us home and put us to bed and read us a bedtime story and everything. And
This
that's
is
it.
how I was replaced by my dad. All right.
Now I will read you a story about how I was replaced.
This is a story about Darth Sidious who killed my mother.
And took my
You reading that
legs.
story again?
yep.
It's the same story.
How many times you got to tell that story, Dad?
Plus, Maul has a bum leg, which is crazy now. So it's like one of his legs are malfunctioning. He got kicked in one, so he has some battle damage. Everybody's taking, but it's weird that she said that about his mother and stuff. Like because now we know about like Mother Townsend and the Night Sisters and stuff. It kind of opens up so much, the story at this point of like kind of what characters they can introduce, where they can head. Where does Maul go after this? Where does he? You know what I mean? I'm sure he leaves the planet at some point because he keeps getting these his brothers, right? I forget what the brothers of Dathomir, the Dathomiri, whatever. Like he has to go get more of them, right? There's only like 4 of them left, so he's gonna have to like go off planet and re up.
Maybe Palpatine can clone him some more brothers, like clone him an army of Mauls, and they can just like clones, like clone troopers, but they're Maul.
Remember, the cloning process doesn't start until like pretty soon,
Yeah, but Palpatine's been dealing with cloning since he was a cadet in the Empire, since he was a young. Right? We know that. We know he's been doing
but I mean, as far as like the whole I guess Empire, the full-fledged program now is like really starting to take off at this point. I'm guessing the time frame, right?
Palpatine wanted cloning technology to take a giant leap forward, and as we all know, there's no easier way to make a technology take an enormous leap forward than to make it militarily indispensable. You know what I mean? I mean, look what happened to the look what's happening with drones right now. Don't do that unless you want to sleep real terrible for a while. So you want your cloning to jump 100 years forward. Just start a galactic civil war in which the government can win by paying for there to be 100 years of advanced cloning technology developed in 10 years. So there you go. I mean, it makes. And I don't think you even need to explain it more than that. Then it created chaos, and the Space Wizard took control. It actually makes sense, and it's neat to me that actually makes sense now. It's like the one good thing Rise of Skywalker did is they made all that make sense, but the rest of it was not good, in my opinion, that I've expressed.
I'm rewatching that. I'm about to watch Rise of Skywalker, and sort of just relive that whole those moments. But I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay. You let us know, Ken.
Sacrifice it for us. I appreciate it.
Those are 2.5 hours you won't get back. I can let you know.
Well, see, I have to go back and see where, because now I'm watching Last Jedi. I'm watching it a couple times just to kind of.
Are you doing like movie Mondays where you do a half hour at a time? Like on Monday?
No, I do the whole thing. One just watch it. Just
impressive.
Impressive. Most
Just turn
impressive.
on just turn on TBS and you'll be able to watch it every day. That or Harry Potter is like the loop now. They don't do too much Marvel, but yeah, Harry Potter and Star Wars like the TBS and TNT loops.
Got to get their money out of that old Harry Potter now. You know, I mean, they got the
Yeah.
new HBO show that I guess is going to look, I mean, exactly the freaking same as the Harry Potter movies. It's just going to be 20 years less politically independent.
Right.
Spending that Game of Thrones money.
Hmm.
Speaking of which, new Game of Thrones, like what, 2 months?
Yeah.
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 Yay.
It's a Game of
Yay.
Thrones.
Sure, guys. Yeah, another fun episode. Another good review. Hopefully, episodes 5 and 6 hit, but I'm pretty sure that based on where this is going, I don't think this is one show we have to worry about having filler episodes.
Yeah, I think we're
Oh,
good.
no.
I think we're good with it. They're gonna hit. They're gonna hit hard.
For sure. So can't wait to break down next week's episodes. And guys, until next week, this is Away.
This is the way.
The way.